and unfortunately it was a little bit too big for me, so I needed some of the links to be removed. And the problem is we weren't sure if the pins that hold the links together were a screw type or a push type, and so I was looking at tutorials online, but I mean, it's not too helpful if you don't know which ones they are. And the head of the pin has a slit in it, so it kind of looks like it would take a screw, but it turns out that it's actually a push type. And unfortunately I wasn't strong enough to push out the pin myself, so I had my dad do it for me, and I thought that I would share a video of how he did it in case some of you out there want to adjust your watch yourself and save the 15 bucks from going to a jewelry repair shop. So if you want to see how he did it, then just keep watching.
Here's a view of what the watch looked like before we removed the links. As you can see, it fits way too large on my wrist. On this particular style, there are two kinds of links, the plain ones and the ones with the jewels on them. Only the plain ones are removable. You'll need something to support the watch on with an opening so that the pin can be pushed out downwards. For example, this vise or a spool of solder that my dad had lying around. We ended up using the vise since it was easier to support the watch on. You'll also need a small tool to push the pin out. He initially tried using a paper clip, but in this case it wasn't strong enough, so instead he used this tool, which is a .035 hex driver, which was about the same diameter as the paper clip and was able to fit through the pinhole. Now, going back to directionality of which way to push the pin out, we saw earlier that the pin is wider at one end, therefore it can only be pushed out in one direction. So take a look at this link that we had removed prior to filming. As you can see, there is an arrow, and this is on the inside of the watch, and it points towards the direction that the pin must come out. So when we hold the watch over the vise, we want to ensure that this arrow on the link we're trying to remove is facing downwards, since we want to push down onto the pin. So position the watch so that the pin you want to remove is over the opening of your supporting object, and then push down with the small tool. It took quite a bit of force to get the pin out, but as you can see, it was doable. If pushing the pin out with sheer force isn't working out for you, you can try using a hammer to tap onto whatever you're using to push the pin through. Once you've popped one pin out, the band will open. If you just want to take one link out, then you'll need to remove the next pin over as well. Here we are actually removing two links at once, so we just skipped one and pushed out the next pin. At this point, my dad had removed a total of 3 links. 2 links from the side of the clasp that we're currently working on as shown, and then 1 from the other side of the clasp, which was removed before filming. Then reinsert a pin to secure the band back together. If you just want to test the size at this point, you can put the pin back just part way so that it's easier to remove again if you have to make any adjustments. At this point, the watch was still loose on my wrist, so we needed to remove 1 more link, but to keep the amount of links even on each side of the clasp, we will remove the 4th link from the other side of the clasp. Now that we've removed the 4th link, the watch fits perfectly.
Now that we've adjusted the size of the band, you can see that it fits perfectly. It's not too loose and not too tight. So hopefully this video is helpful to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everybody, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.